So right now, I'm gonna show you how to actually paint a NES console and make it look like a professional paint job. I do this for a living, and if you want an NES to look like this, then watch this video. I'm gonna show you how to paint one like this, and I'm gonna paint another one in bright fluorescent colors that glow under a black light, okay? Now the first thing you wanna do is you wanna mask off all the original Nintendo labeling on the bottom of the console. That's great stuff there. You wanna use it, you wanna save it. I don't wanna use replacement decals on that when I can just mask it off. Now what I'm using to mask it off is a very special tape. This is yellow frog tape, or you can also use 3M gold seal tape. That's the best masking tape around. It's gonna protect the labels underneath, so when you peel it off, it doesn't rip it and do any damage. I'm gonna put a link in the description below so you can purchase this exact kind of tape if you would like to use it in your project, okay? So the first thing you do is wash your NES and then mask it all off. Alright, so rule number one before you paint any plastic, you gotta wash this stuff down good with dish soap or degreaser. Any sort of sticker residue, you gotta get that off with Goo Gone. These have been pre-washed, and then what you wanna do is you wanna use a specific plastic primer so the paint sticks to the plastic really well. Paint is not made to stick to plastic. The product that I like to use is by Montana Spray Bombs. It's a special plastic primer. As you can see there, plastic primer. That's the catalog number, T2000. And from my experience, this stuff works really well. I do a few coats of this, let that cure, and then I take this brand of paint called Plutonium, and I do another paint primer coat on top of that. Check this out. Alright, so that's the first coat of plastic primer. The instructions on the can say to wait at least 5 minutes drying time in between coats. So we're going to wait 5 minutes, and then we're going to put on another coat. Alright, so now we're going to do our coat of paint primer. I like to use light blue paint. It covers really easily and you don't see it come through. I think it's better than white personally. Alright, so that was the priming process. It's all primed now. I did 2 coats of plastic primer and 2 coats of paint primer on top of that. Make sure it's extra strong. And now we're gonna let that cure overnight. We're gonna do overnight cure so that it can get even stronger. And then tomorrow we're gonna start on the top coat. Alright, so we are back. It's a new day. We let these things cure overnight. And as you can see, the primer is really doing its job. That paint is not scratching off. That's what we wanted. We achieved that with a 24-hour cure. And now I'm just gonna take some super fine sandpaper, some 1200 grit sandpaper, super fine. We're just gonna give it a light sand, dust that off, and start doing our top coats. Alright, so as you can see, we sanded it, we did the scratch test, and the primer is holding up really nicely. I'll be putting links in the description below of all the products that I've been using on this. So if you want to try this yourself, you can use exactly the same stuff that I did. Alright, so for the color scheme on the first NES we painted, I'm going to be using Montana 94. This color is ultraviolet. This is going to go for the top of the shell. And then for the bottom, I'm going to use some MTM Montana Colors water-based. This color is emerald green light. I'm gonna use that for the bottom. Alright, so we got the first coat on there. This one was like a lacquer-based spray balm that dries really quick, so I'm gonna throw another coat on it right now. But the water-based one takes a lot longer to dry, so I might have to wait till tomorrow before I second coat that. And I painted the second one in fluorescent colors. Fluorescent yellow and fluorescent red or pink or whatever. Yeah, maybe I should have used a white primer for this, but that's okay. It'll still work. Just have to do more coats. And that's gonna be crazy because that glows under a black light. That's gonna look sweet when it's done. Can't wait to finish that. And yeah, so we're just gonna let this paint cure overnight again, and we'll do some more top coating tomorrow. All right, so we're back. It's a new day. We let these babies cure again for 24 hours. Make sure that paint is like super nice. And we're gonna give them another coat. This is gonna be the final coat. And then we're gonna let that cure again. And then we're gonna do the clear coat. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but these fluorescent ones definitely need some more paint. All right, we're gonna get started on that. Done our final coat now. As you can see, those are looking a lot better. They really needed that final coat. You can really notice it on the fluorescent ones. Those ones are so much more solid and opaque now, especially on the yellow. That looks way better. Super bright. That's the paint we used. Painting these fluorescent ones, that was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I didn't plan on that. Had I known I was doing this, I would have for sure used a white primer, because then it would have took less coats of the fluorescent, but I still think it looks pretty good. If your stuff doesn't come out this nice the first time, don't take it to heart. I've been doing this spray painting for, over 20 years, well over 20 years, probably about 25 years now, quarter of a century, so I'm pretty good at it. Anyone can do it, just takes a little practice. Now we're gonna let these cure for at least 24 hours, and then we're gonna put on the clear coat for the extra protection. And we're gonna do at least a couple of coats of clear, and then we'll re-add the Nintendo lettering logo on the front. All right, so we are back. I let those cure for a couple days. Let's take a look at them. And believe it or not, I'm still not quite satisfied. I wanna do another coat of paint on this yellow. That'll be the last one for sure. That green looks pretty good. The red looks really good. And this purple, I just want to give it a little more, one more coat. Then after that, it's going to be onto the clear. So now I'm all done with these final coats of paint. We let them cure, they're nice and cured. Now we're going to start the clear coating process and then replace the lettering on the front. So let's just take one final look at these. Looking beautiful. And again, I'm going to throw links to all the can colors that I use down in the description below. So if you want to copy this, you can use the exact same stuff that I did. All right, so we're gonna start the clear coat process now, and always remember to wear a mask when you're spraying any kind of paint, especially the primers and the clear coats. That's really important. Protect your health, protect your lungs. I've done my clear coating for the day. I'll let this cure overnight, of course, and I think that might be enough. I don't think I need to clear coat these anymore. They got quite a few layers on them now. Should be good to go. Clear coats are just adding an extra layer of protection so you know your paint doesn't scratch so easy. No paint is indestructible, even the paint on your car, but the clear coat definitely helps and it gives it a nice even sheen. I went with a flat matte sheen on this, and again I'll put a link in the description. You can buy the exact products that I used. Been doing this for a while with them and it never fails. Alright, so I totally forgot to film it, but I just put on the final coat of clear. I'm going to show you guys a little close up so you can see they're looking spectacular. Look at that. So smooth. Nice, high quality matte paint. These fluorescent ones are going to pop so hard under the black light. Looking amazing. What we're going to do now is we're going to let these cure overnight. One last final cure. And then tomorrow we can demask them. Demask the labels here where I covered up all this stuff. We're gonna pull that off. That's gonna be really satisfying. It's gonna be cool to watch, so make sure you watch that part. And then we are gonna put on the replacement letters for the Nintendo logo on the front. But we want this paint to be nice and cured before we do that so we don't damage it. And after that, it's just reassembling the units. So stay tuned, lots more action. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so the paint jobs are finally complete. These things are looking super nice. What do you guys think? I think they're pretty sick. And the final step now is we gotta reassemble it all, and we gotta throw these replacement decals back on the front there. So let's do it. Alright, so this didn't come out as clean as I would like it. Put too many coats of paint on there and it was sealed in too well. The back one turned out good. But yeah, not the best masking job I've ever done, but not terrible. Alright, there you have it. The NES repaint, reassembly is complete. I think I did a smoking job. Looks pretty fresh. I love it.